Hi there, welcome back Greeks and welcome to CPU.
Good evening, Greeks. I'm happy that you are able to survive halfway around this summer term. So we are done with our examinations, and I hope that you are able to accomplish well during that exam. So I hope that you got a high score and was able to retain all the learnings that you had in the past weeks. So today we are now on the latter portion of our class, another halfway towards the finals, and we are now in lesson 15. So are you ready to learn today? All right. So I think you are so excited to learn more about our lesson. So our lesson today is it's more about the second aorist active and middle indicative. Before the examinations, we were able to discuss the first aorist active and middle indicative. And today, we'll have the second part, which is the second aorist active and middle indicative. That is lesson or module 15 in our lessons. So let's take a look at our knowledge and objectives. Firstly, okay, by the way, our vocabulary will be the present tense and they will be uh, conjugated to the second aorist. All right, so secondly, we'll be able to identify the forms of the second aorist active and middle. Thirdly, we'll be able to practice translating the second aorist tense and its irregular forms. So those are our knowledge and objectives for today's lesson. So are you ready? So let's proceed to our vocabulary. So for our vocabulary, let's have the first word here, ago. Of course, I lead. In the second aorist, as you can see, the present and the second aorist looks totally different. That's why they are known to be the second aorist, because they don't look similar to that of the present. They have a different form. And that's why you need to memorize these forms depending upon its name. So firstly, ago, I lead. When you translate it or when you conjugate it into the second aorist, it becomes a gagon. So it means I led. Second word is apotnesco. It means I die. And the second aorist of apotnesco is apetanon. Please read it with me. Apetanon. It means I died. Wow. So somehow it's uh, it's an irony that you are dead already, but you can still declare that you died. Anyway, let's proceed to the next word. We have the word balo. It means I throw or cast. The second aorist, it becomes a balon. So you drop the labda and you add the augment in the beginning. So that means I threw or cast. Next word is blepo. So it means I see. The second aorist is I don't. So it's very different from the first one. It means I saw. Next word is ginomai. So it means I become. So this is a word that is irregular also. It becomes a genomen. So it means I became. Next word is ginosko. It means I know. I say it with me, ginosko. The second aorist, it becomes egnon. It means I knew. By the way, we have learned this before in our lessons. Next word is erkomai. It means I come. The second aorist of erkomai is elthon. I came or went. Next word is sto. It means I eat. Second aorist becomes ephagon. I ate. Next word is echo. I have. Second aorist is escon. I had. Next word is lambano. It means I take or receive. The second aorist, it becomes elabon. I took or received. Next word is lego. I say or speak. And the second aorist, it becomes apon. I said or spoke. Next word is lepo. It means I leave. In the second aorist, it becomes elipon, means I left. Next word is paralambano. I take, receive, or take along. In the second aorist, it becomes parelabon. So you can see the augment is in between the two words, para and lambano, parelabon. It means I took, received, or took along. Next word is pasco. So the second aorist is epathon. Epathon. It means I suffered. Next word is pipto. It means I fall. The second aorist is epeson. I fell. The last word is pharaoh. I bring or bear. In second aorist, it becomes enegkon. I bore or brought. So the second aorist that we learned last time, that it does not take the sigma in the endings, but rather it has a different form. Of course, in English, usually when you change the verb from the present to past, you just add d or ed depending upon the word. Like here, the example here is die. So you add d, it becomes died. What else? The word receive, just add d, it becomes received. Suffer, you add ed, it becomes suffered. But of course, there are some words that when you change that to past, it has a different form. Like here, the lead becomes led. No? You drop the alpha. That's a different case. How about this one, throw? Instead of throw, it becomes through. You just drop the O and you change it with E. Also, the word see. It did not become seed, but saw. So those are similar with the aorist, that the present is different entirely from the aorist tense. All right, so let's proceed as we discuss why these things happen. The second aorist, as we was introduced in the last lesson, it does not add a sigma and uses an entirely different stem from the first aorist, as what I've said earlier. So there's no way to determine whether a Greek verb will have a first or second aorist other than observing the vocabulary or a Greek lexicon form. So there are no certain rules about this, but when you see that word, automatically in your mind, you can see that this is the correct form when it will be changed to the aorist. Once second aorist form is located, you can find the stem by removing the on ending and the augment. So just remember the ending on and the augment. So that becomes, you can see what is the stem. If it is in the temporal augment, you shorten the initial vowel to its original form. Thus, the stem of elipon, so you omit the epsilon, the temporal augment, and the on here, the root or the stem is lip. Okay? For elebon, temporal also, you take here the epsilon and the on, it becomes lap. And for the elthon, of course, it is long e, that is eta, but when you take the epsilon there, it will become epsilon, and also omit the on, therefore it becomes elf. That's the stem. To form the second aorist indicative, add the augment to the stem, then the connecting vowel, omicron, epsilon, and finally the active or middle endings. Okay, so let's recall the endings of the second aorist active indicative. So in the first person singular, it is on, omicron u. The second person singular, that is s, epsilon sigma. And the third person singular, that is e. Of course, we have a movable nu here. For the plural first person, it is omen. For the second person plural, it is ete. And third person on. So you can see the first person singular and the third person plural is the same in form. But you can know this depending upon the noun is being referred to. So let's read from the top. All together now. Go. On, es, e, omen, ete, on. One more time. On, es, e, omen, ete, on. Very good. So just memorize these endings and you'll know that this is the second aorist active indicative. In summary, so you have the augment, that is epsilon, plus the second aorist stem, that is lip. By the way, the word we are taking a look at is the word lapo. And the connecting vowel, omicron, the ending, mu, that becomes elipon. That is the second aorist active indicative first person singular of lapo. What do you mean by lapo? Leave. Okay, so to conjugate, lapo. The second aorist active indicative of lapo. First person singular is lipon. It means I left. So leave becomes left. Of course, that is in English. You don't add ed or d, but you just change the word all throughout. Leave becomes left. Second person singular is elipes. It means you left. Third person singular, elipe. He, she, it left. Then the plural, elipomen. We left. Second person, elipete. You left. And the third person also that is similar with the singular first person, elipon. They left. And for the infinitive, it is lipain, to leave. So again, there is no augment in the beginning for the infinitive. So let's read from the top altogether. We can elipon, elipes, elipe, elipomen, elipete, elipon, and the infinitive, lipain. Very good. So that is the second aorist active indicative conjugation of lapo. So let's proceed to the middle. Second aorist middle is formed similarly to the active, except the middle endings are added. As in the first aorist, the second aorist passive is altogether different from the second aorist middle. So let's take a look at the endings of the second aorist middle indicative. Remember, the first one that we memorized is the active indicative. This one is the middle indicative. So middle again, it shows that the word himself, no? The ownership, okay? Returning to the self. Okay, first person singular is, ending is omain. Second person singular, o. Third person singular is eto. For the plural first person, it is ometa. Second person, plural esthe. And third person singular, a plural, onto. All right, let's read from the top all together now. Omain, o, eto, ometha, esthe, onto. One more time. Go. Omen, o, eto, ometha, esthe, onto. Very good. So that is the endings of the second aorist middle indicative. So as you memorize the active, you need also to memorize the middle endings. So to sum up, the second aorist middle is augment, of course, plus the aorist stem, that is lip, plus omicron, the connecting vowel, and the ending main. It becomes elipomain. That is the second aorist middle indicative first person singular of lapo. So let's conjugate the lapo. In the singular, it is elipomen. It means I left myself, or for myself. Next word is elipo. You left yourself or for yourself. Elipeto. He, she, it left for himself, herself, or itself. In a plural, first person, elipometha. We left for ourselves. Second person, elipesthe. You left for yourselves. And third person, eliponto. They left for themselves. So somehow, in the Filipino language, you say peste, meaning it's a nuisance. So you left because you're a nuisance. And then the infinitive is Lepestai, to leave oneself. How can you do that? No, but that is the the infinitive form of lepo, lepestai, to leave oneself. I imagine how can you leave yourself? But anyway, let's read the conjugation of lepo in the first person singular. Altogether, begin. Elipomane, elipo, elipeto, elipometa, elipeste, eliponto. And the infinitive, lipestai. Very good. So this is the second aorist middle indicative conjugation of lepo. So let's proceed to another reminder. Note that the endings of the imperfect and the second aorist are identical. So you can see the imperfect and the aorist are identical. The only difference is their form in the imperfect. It's formed in the present stem, and the second aorist is on the aorist stem. So remember, the imperfect is formed in the present stem, and the second aorist is formed in the aorist stem. So that's the difference. The imperfect of lepo is lepon. That is the imperfect. So you just add the augment here and the on. That's why the stem is lep in the imperfect. While the second aorist, lepo becomes a lepon. So the stem is lip instead of lep. So in the second aorist, the epsilon is trapped there. So that's the difference between the stem of the second aorist and the imperfect. But they have the same endings. Right? So let's proceed to translating the second aorist. The function and translation of the second aorist are the same with that of the first aorist. So the meaning is also past. The only difference is the form. For example, the first and second aorist of Pharaoh is translated as, and the first person is, Pharaoh becomes, in the first aorist rather, Enegka. It means I bore or brought. And the second aorist, it becomes Enegkon. It means also I bore or brought. But of course, you can see the difference in their form. The second aorist is not a different tense from the first aorist. It only uses a different form. So those two, either first or second aorist, are still considered a past tense in the English language. Right? Is that clear? Let's proceed to the last part. So again, it's not different, but it uses a different form. For the last part, many second aorist forms are entirely different from the present. Some of these were originally from older verbs and were used later as the aorist forms of other prominent verbs in the New Testament. So for example here, the aorist of course, second aorist apon is, it could be epo, that is the older word, or the lego, which means I say. So they're very irregular, right? No? Lego or epo, but in the aorist it becomes apon. So no way can you see that there is similarity, just the letter epsilon, I think. And the second one is blepo or horao. It means I see, but the aorist form of it is adon. Very, very different, all right? And finally, earlier we have also learned this, the word genosko. I know. In the aorist, genosko becomes egnome. So those are examples of irregular forms in the aorist. It's totally different from its present stem. Okay, let's practice. Practice time. All right, so let's try the second aorist active indicative. Remember the endings? First person, on, as, omen, ete, on. All right? All right. So let's have the first example. Let's have the word sto. Sto means I eat. So what is the aorist form of sto? The aorist form of sto is ephagon. So just In order to remember it, just look at your modules and memorize this form. It means I ate. Second person, you add the endings ephages. So you have the augment epsilon plus the stem phag and the ending s. It means you ate. For the third person, it becomes ephage. Same rule applied. He, she, it ate. Let's proceed to the plural of istio. It becomes ephagomen. It means we ate. Second person, ephagete. You ate. And third person, ephagon. They ate. All right, so it seems that you are hungry already, but we are almost done with this lesson. So let's read again the STO in the present. All together in the aorist rather. Go. Ephagon, ephages, ephage, ephagomen, ephagete, ephagon. Very good. Let's try the word pipto. Earlier we have learned that pipto means I sent. So what is the aorist form of pipto? It is epeson. So epeson sent out pipto is fall rather. So it becomes I fell. So the stem here is pes. You add the augment epsilon and the ending on. For the second person, it becomes epeses. It means you fell. Third person, epese. He, she, it fell. Let's proceed to the plural. First person is epesomen. It means we fell. Second person, epesete. You fell. And the third person, the same with the first person singular, epeson. They fell. So let's read from the top all together. Go. Epeson, epeses, epese, epesomen, epesete, epeson. Very good. So there you have it. The second aorist active indicative. This time, let's practice another one, which is the second aorist middle indicative. So let's review the endings. Of course, you have omein, o, eto, omtha, esthe, onto. Okay, you memorized it already. Let's take a look at the word ago. So ago is the singular form. What is the aorist of ago? It is agagon. So agagon, what is the root, the stem? It is agago or agag. So agag, you add the ending omein, and of course it is still in the lengthen. This is alpha plus epsilon. That's why it becomes eta. So igagomen, igagomen. It means I led for myself. Second person, just add the endings. Agag plus the o, it becomes agago. You led for yourself. Third person, agageto. He, she, it led for him, her, or itself. Okay, let's proceed to the plural. We have the word first person, agagometha. It means we led for ourselves. Second person, agagestre. You led for yourselves. And third person plural, agagonto. They led for themselves. Okay, let's recap and read from the top. All together, go. Agagomen, agago, igageto. Plural, agagometha, agagestre, agagonto. Very good. So that is the conjugation for the word ago in its second aorist middle indicative. Let's proceed to the last word, pasco. It is the singular form. What is the aorist form of pasco? It becomes epathon. So epathon. So we have here the root, which is epa or path, and then epsilon, the augment, and omein, the ending. So pasco, in the first person middle indicative, our second aorist is epathomein rather. It means I suffered for myself. Second person is epatho. It means you suffered for yourself. Third person is epatheto. It means he, she, it suffered for himself, herself, or itself. For the plural, it becomes epathometa. First person, we suffered for ourselves. Second person, epatheste. You suffered for yourselves. And third person, plural, epathonto. They suffered for themselves. So in our language, thonto is a bad man. No? So you suffered probably because you were cheated by a bad man. Epathonto. Okay, let's read from the top all together. Begin. Epathomein, epatho, epatheto. Plural, epathometa. Second person, epatheste. And the last, epathonto. Very good. So there you have it. Assignment, you have here the same activity as last time. You need to conjugate the following verbs in its second aorist active indicative. So just answer in the first person, the three persons and the number as well as its conjugated meaning. So there are two words to be conjugated. And the second part is the second aorist middle indicative. There are two examples as well. So I hope that you'll be able to answer that on your own, and be sure to answer a quiz later on, which will be available until 12 midnight, and our activity for tomorrow. That's all for today. Thank you, and God bless everyone.